Good morning, everybody. So my thought of the day today is based on this quote by Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie has written all kinds of books like How to Win Friends, Influence People, How to stop worrying about other people, what other people may say, and just start living. And in this quote, he talks about most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. Dale Carnegie. And I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about like when you first walk in through these doors, right? And just getting out, or lost on the streets, or stuck in your addiction, or feeling alone, and you feel without hope. And then you come to this place, and you walk through the doors, and you see people hugging each other, and laughter, and you sit inside with either G or Hector or whoever's sitting behind the desk, and you kind of tell them where you're at and how you're kind of lost, and then they give you a drug test day, and then they tell you come back, right? I remember when I first walked through the doors, it was right after one of my friends that just passed away, and I came to G, and I knew Father Greg. I did my first communion in camp, and I came in and I was lost, right? I just felt like I didn't know what I was going to do anymore, Retaliation wasn't an option anymore. Just no matter how much you retaliated, it wasn't bringing that person back, and I still felt guilty because I felt that I could have stopped it or changed it if I would have been around, and I really knew I couldn't, but it was just more of an excuse to continue to be rolling in that misery, in that cycle of no hope. So when we get in here, right, and you get the test date, and you start going through the process, and then you come out clean, and then you go through the orientation, and then you go through the selection committee, and then for the selection committee, you see if you got picked, and then you come here on Friday for the lottery and stuff, and then your name gets pulled out. And then they drug test you again, and you're dirty. Because you felt like there was no hope because of the process. And it brings me about this book by Napoleon Hill. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And in this book, there's this guy who he wants to be a millionaire. He wants to be rich. And he wants more for his life. And so he gets, during the gold rush, he buys this land, and he buys all these tools, and he starts to dig for gold. And he's digging and digging and digging and digging, and he's digging, and he ain't finding nothing. And he starts to become frustrated and worried and feeling like he's wasting his time and like he's not getting nowhere, and he just continues to dig and then continues to dig, and nothing seems to be happening. And so he goes and he sells his land and he sells his tools, and he says, I'm done. I'm going to go and do something else. And so the guy that gets his tools and gets the land, he goes back to the same hole and he begins to dig. And 3 feet down, they find the biggest gold rush ever. And that's how it is when you get in through these doors, right? You come in here and you want more, and you don't want to be in jail, and you don't want to be lost in the streets, and you start washing windows, and then you start washing windows, and then you start washing windows, and you're like, sheesh. But like, what else is here, right? And you're going to classes, and your case manager is on you, telling you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you're going to these classes that are bringing up these things that you haven't wanted to look at for such a long time, and they're starting to burn. And it's starting to weigh heavy on your heart. And it starts to feel like a lot of pressure. And it starts to feel overwhelming. And then your ideas start coming back in. Oh, it'll be cool if I just go and see the homies. Or, what am I doing here? I could go make more money than I do here in 2 weeks and 1 day on the streets. And you start to think like that. And you start to believe that there's another option. And so my thought of the day is that in those moments where you feel like there's no hope or things are not going, you got to keep pushing. You got to get through the fire. You got to get through that other 3 feet that you feel like it's never going to get there. So you can indulge yourself in the riches that come from freedom, from being out here, for being back in your kid's life, for being someone that someone being responsible, someone that people trust, getting off parole, being there for someone, your child's birthday. All these things come as long as you know that in life, the people that have changed the world have been people that during times that they felt there was no hope, has accomplished it all. So my thought of the day today for everyone is, as you walk through your day and you feel like it may not be the best day or it may be the hardest day, that as long as you continue to push forward, then life's going to change. Thank you very much.